Pirates. They capture everything. Go down to here. Place waypoint. We're gonna. Who likes fast traveling? I don't like fast traveling. It's just a slow process to just to get over. Drop myself. Alright. Let's do this. Okay. Alright. There we go. Big explosions. There we go. Alright. There we go.
Engaging the target. All units converge on the following coordinates.
There we go.
Dispatch. Reinforcements have been sent to your position.
There we go. Go left. There we go. We conquered the lands. Another province cleared out. Alright. But first, we'll just find whatever the heck they want me to find. Oh, that dumb thing. Yeah, no, I'm good. There you go. Alright. Sensor right there. Ooh, that looks like a base if I've ever seen one. Let us fly. Let's fly to the moon. Let us dance upon the stars. So today I figured out tags are kind of important. It's a thing.
What up?
Ah,
Hello,
no.
stream. How's it going, stream?
Yep. Oh, you know.
Having fun, little stream?
Yep, I'm having a fun little stream.
I didn't ask you.
Oh boy.
I asked the stream.
No, nobody's here. But shirts.
Well, they can watch it later and then answer me. Excuse me.
But I figured out tags are kind of important, so I'm gonna start putting more tags in. So. Yep,
Tags on what?
YouTube, so they can find my stuff, I guess.
Why would anybody want to find you?
It's for great quality content. Yeah, thinking about it, that's just funny. So,
Oh, I'm so bored.
when's Just Cause 3 for you all done?
Let's see. It's a little over halfway there.
Ooh, the shopping list on this one's pretty big. Okay.
Understand.
Grenade out.
Sleepy Robert. My sleep schedule is fixed though.
Yay. That's good.
I'm falling asleep at about 1 in the morning,
That's good.
which is really early for me.
That does sound like an early thing. Okay, this guy's thing is glitched, but we're just gonna move on.
What? I thought this was a Christian YouTube.
It is.
And why would you say such a dirty word like that?
I didn't say anything dirty.
You said a dirty word, Andrew.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said glitch.
Glitch?
That's
Oh.
a dirty. Probably shouldn't be singing.
Because it sounds so close to the original that could be considered copyright.
You have no idea what I'm even singing, so don't.
Just saying.
I don't even think you know what the band is.
Green Day?
No. Wow.
Alrighty. This is fun.
It's 3 Days Grace.
Alright.
Ow. Stop it.
I am offended. I am offended. I found this now. Alright. This is like a whole grocery list of things to do.
What? Oh, grocery rich.
No, because with Just Cause 3, they have like things you need to take out on the left side of the screen. And it's just like
Yeah,
taking up my entire,
I know.
almost my entire screen.
They did the same thing in the first one. You're talking about like you have to destroy a bunch of stuff and you can gain that area as your own, right?
I mean, the whole area is available to you anyways, but you're just taking over, you're just taking back lands that are supposed to be yours.
That's what I mean.
Okay, whatever you say, bud. The only bad thing is this game gets really framey.
Well, for you.
No, like the game actually drops frames.
For you.
What do you mean for me?
I guarantee you that if I play it, it won't drop pressure. I guarantee you.
Wayne, yeah, it only happens with the explosions.
Dude, no. Yeah, it could happen, but I guarantee you it won't happen.
Oh, I guarantee you will. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I mean, if it's anything like freaking Fallout on the Xbox and you mean using cheats on there, then it takes a long time for stuff like that to happen. I don't know, man. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
It's just all the explosions and everything that's happening around this game. It's putting a lot of hardware or wear on the processor and such.
Ugh.
Oh boy. Okay. Why does everything want to kill me? Why does everything want to kill me, man? Why? Like why? I might do some call-outs on you for challenges.
On me?
Yeah, on you, man. And Isaiah.
What kind of challenges are you talking about?
Like time trials and such.
I'm not down for that. I mean, at least I think I'd have a better chance with Isaiah, because I don't think he's ever played any Just Cause before. I think this is his first one. Not to like throw shit at him or anything, but I feel like I'd have more experience.
Probably.
Because I've played the second one so many times.
This is my first Just Cause, so...
Yeah, I remember getting it. I went to a friend's house, and he's a really good friend of mine. I've known him since I was in kindergarten. And went over to his house, and he introduced me to Just Cause. I was like, wow, this game looks really fun. About a week later, it's like, Dad, can I get Just Cause 3?
Wow.
True story by Robert.
Just...
Dying isn't fun. Dying is fun.
In this game, they give you like a gun that's literally a fat man. And it's amazing. The big explosion! Oh! 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 Okay.
I think this is the 50. Yo. Hello there, you smelly belly Bellington. Mr. Echo of Oryx. I'm currently dying. Dying isn't fun. Heavy ammo synthesis, thank you. Wow, this is taking care of this thing really easily. Okay. I thought I was gonna have to try this mission a bunch of times. I got Imagine Dragons though to help me out.
Some nice Imagine Dragons. Oh boy. Go. Move. Go, boys. Oh boy. I'd probably get Just Cause 2, but
I don't think I think the only way you can get it now is like that PlayStation Now thing that they have for like $20 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they actually make the game anymore.
Might be able to get pre-owned. But yeah.
Yeah, and like Amazon probably. I don't think GameStop would be selling it. I mean, they might, but I don't. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Thank you for dying. Makes my life so much easier now that you're dead.
Did we get him?
It makes my life
Going
sense.
on. Report.
Just
I better get something good out of this mission. Because if not, I'm going to cry myself to sleep. Then again, that's normal for me.
hey, Rico. I love these little radio things after you finish off like a military base.
I can't wait. Let's see what it is now. Oops, no. 3 hours left, it says. Alright. Probably gonna be shorter than that. But I won't be up for 3 hours, really. Yes, I will. I don't know. I'm probably gonna get off soon. Still gonna be on PlayStation, though. But I'm gonna be Skyping with an old friend of mine.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm on and it's like I'm not playing with you, just don't think I don't hate you, because I do. But yeah,
You don't hate me? Or you do hate me?
I do hate you.
You do hate me?
I hate you with a passion.
With that passion. Alright. So let's go check out. There's nothing here. But okay. You know what, there's something in here. It's probably one of his tapes.
That was Crystal Palace.
Oh, it was fun. I haven't roller skated in a few years, so I had to relearn how to do it. But it was
I've never
good.
gone on a shooter. I totally forgot it was Wednesday today too. Like I was making dinner, and I was on the phone, and Mom was like, "Oh, are you churching?" So I'm like, "Oh no, I forgot it was Wednesday. What time it is?" I looked at the clock. It was like 2 minutes till 6.
Oh. So you couldn't do anything?
No, I didn't have a ride. I didn't have a shower, and I was in the middle of cooking dinner.
So you
Yeah.
couldn't.
I couldn't do a single thing.
Where are these bases, dude?
Radio, yeah, Time to Darkness. Oh wow! You have Come Through the Darkness Undiminished. Increased all XP gains. Last until weekly refresh. Nice. I
Good.
got it until next one. Nice.
That good, that good.
What to do now? I'm gonna go check my missions. All my other missions that I totally forgot about.
This is so much fun. Flying a helicopter across the fields. Do it for the stream. So exciting and zesty.
I have so much boosted.
So how much of the download is left?
Huh?
How much of the download left is for Just Cause 3?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, you said you were downloading Just Cause 3,
Yeah.
and I was asking how much was left.
Is anybody left out there?
It's still about the same amount.
Okay. Alright. Ouch. This is fun. There you go.
Let's see here.
D. Ravello's tape. This is D. Ravello's mixtape.
Complete the shot of deep shark. Excuse me.
Day 1550. The investigation into the disappearance of the Luke arrested with a pointless young officer, a reckless youth who races cars. A small service today commemorated the young officer's death in a tragic accident. His brakes inexplicably failed on the last corner. An amateur racer, Rico Rodriguez.
Yes, talk to you, Commander Zabu Bafu. Oh, this is another good.
This ball is, oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Oh, that's gonna be kind of easy, kind of hard.
Woohoo! Getting this stuff done! I'm finally good at like how to find different like areas to where the enemies are. Finally figuring that out. Okay. Okay, let's check out this area, see if there's anything over there.
I love being annoying to my friends.
Yeah, you do.
So I want to make sure that my friend is ready to Skype in a little bit. And it's like, hey, 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 hey. She wasn't answering. I was like, hey, hey, and it just kept spamming H over and over and over again. So that's what this was just.
Just friendly fun.
Probably sent about 50-something H's already.
How to get your friends to despise you.
Oh, already all my friends already despise me. Get up to the I'll just text her then.
Ouchie wouchie, ouchie wouchie.
Cause the thing is I was gonna Skype with her last night, but then the whole internet outage thing happened. Now to spam her on Snapchat.
I should be allowed to get like any social media I want now. Now that I'm 17. Alright, let's nuke 'em.
Now to spam her on Instagram. doesn't have Facebook though, so I can't do that.
Who doesn't have Facebook? Her. There's not a lot of people that don't have a Facebook. I mean, Pastor Hoyt doesn't have a Facebook, so...
Man, I really wish I could have been there tonight. Now I feel bad.
Oh, because it was monochrome night? Oh.
Not just that, it's that I wasn't, you know, she just messaged me. You know, we weren't there for like the hello goodbye party.
Uh-huh.
And I guess you kind of made it up tonight in a way. Like seeing everybody there because, you know, Kirsten's about to leave.
Mm-hmm. We didn't do a family picture.
I don't care.
We were gonna do a family picture,
But I wasn't there.
yeah.
That's
We'll
why it had been a family picture.
We'll take one some other time.
No. The answer was because I wasn't there.
I mean...
The answer was because I wasn't there.
I just said we'll take it later.
The answer was because I wasn't there.
Okay, I'll go with whatever logic you have. Is there anything out here? Anything? I found Donald Trump's wall in Just Cause 3.
Mistake to you. I've been gone so long I can. You know what you should do one time?
What?
You should like do the like if you get like a new game or something like that, you should just do a full stream of just you doing the campaign.
I mean, I was planning on doing that with Uncharted and World War II.
Yeah, just like don't split it up into pieces, just one full stream of the campaign.
Uncharted is very long, and Call of Duty is like 8 hours, usually.
I mean, we've done half that. We've done 4-hour streams before, almost 5 hours.
Yeah. I'd have to check. I'd have to check with my schedule on that.
This is dispatch, sending ground reinforcements to your position.
Let's see here.
Attention all units, target
I'm trying to find your longest stream.
It was the political conversations. That was the longest one.
That was almost 5 hours, yeah. I knew it was that one.
There we go. Okay, let's see.
Oh gosh, it's gonna take a while. Ah, get out of here. Got a blast. Oh my gosh, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need someone to help me out with this mission because you boys suck.
Assistance! Assistance is required! I died.
I need assistance.
Assistance is needed. Oh man. Because it's It's a special game in
I
my
mean,
heart.
Uncharted doesn't even make my top 10 games list. Not gonna lie. Like, I enjoy the game, but it's not even probably on my top 15.
Uh-huh. I appreciate the games. So.
I mean, it's a good game. I know they put a lot of time into it, but it's not one of my favorite games.
When Last of Us 2 comes out, I am definitely streaming that.
Oh, dang it, guy. Yeah, I can't wait for Last of Us 2.
But the only thing is,
Last of Us 2 is so long, bro. Well, The Last of Us, my bad. The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, it's a long game. I wonder where I'd be in 2 years, especially with this channel. Where would I be in 2 years?
Dying in a ditch because your best friend left you out drinking.
Probably, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh gosh! Oh my gosh, that terrified me. Oh man.
I mean, you terrified me. So what's the difference?
Not that. Shut up. I'm not even talking to you now.
Okay, where else? Where else could this next one be? I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's that one.
Hello, Captain. Oh, my captain. I want to sing so badly, but you're streaming. Hey, copyright.
No, if you sing, that's fine. I just don't want the actual song playing.
No, that. You obviously don't know how copyright works. And even then, every time I did sing, you kept saying, "Oh, it sounds so close to the real song."
Dude, that's sarcastic.
So mean.
It's sarcasm. When people say that, it's sarcasm.
No, you say it so many times though, it doesn't sound sarcastic.
Well, I mean in a sarcastic manner, so.
Then don't say it so much.
I
can understand saying it one time being a joke, but like you said it so many times on your streams and stuff like that, I don't know when you're serious about it now.
Oh.
Yeah, and even then Isaiah was like confused about that.
Yeah, Isaiah was singing to his heart's content yesterday. I was just like, just please stop. Not because I was concerned about the copyright, but it's just like, I really don't want you singing right now.
Isaiah's not a good singer. Dude, me, I don't care. He's not a good singer. Who knows? I might not be a good singer to him, but hey, man.
Yeah.
This is dispatch. Come in.
Your boy just doesn't like to sing. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so
Oh no, wizards. Oh, I don't want to deal with wizards.
Lizards?
Wizards!
Oh my goodness,
That's not even cool. I just have a really bad speech problem. You're giving me Vietnam flashbacks, Andrew. Oh my gosh! I can't yell so loud. I'm gonna get sued.
You get in trouble, boy.
I'm gonna get in trouble. Yeah, my mom has to go to bed early because she has to get my sister to school tomorrow, and she's gonna cry. And see, there's a thing in my family, and it's so stupid. Whenever me and my brother first started going to school, what my parents would do, I'm not even kidding, they'd make us feel so bad about it after school. It'd be like, oh, how was, they asked us how our day was, and be like, oh, school, it sucked. And then we'd ask them how their day was, and they'd go, oh yeah, we dropped you guys off at school, and then we went to the buffet. And it's like, what?
They'd make you feel
don't tell a kid that, especially when they're in elementary school. Because then, especially a little pudgy kid like me, I'm pretty big. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty big. Like, Nicki Minaj got nothing on me. Nicki Minaj is fake. I'm 100% real.
100% legit, satisfactory.
Yay, I finished the mission. That was really easy. That was surprisingly easy. That was gonna be really, really difficult. Only died once because I got stuck on a wall.
Citizens, state your business or leave immediately.
Rebel activity reported.
Come on, boys. Give me a challenge. Give me a level 5. Come on. This is too easy.
Sending additional reinforcements.
Spicy shrimp chow mein. Chow mein is so good.
Honestly. Wait. Can I eat chow mein? I don't know if I can.
You even know what chow mein is?
Yes, it's the noodle stuff.
You just like, you legit just said almost like a quarter of the planet's types of food.
I know it's a Chinese thing, so... I know what chow mein is, I just can't describe it right now.
What do you mean? Why did you say, can I eat it? Like,
No,
so it
it's
doesn't have
because...
anything.
It's probably because, Panda... I should have clarified. The Panda Express's version, I think, has something in it that I can't eat. Or
Like,
the nut,
only allergic
like
to,
a nut.
a certain type of nut, though. They can't put nuts in it. That's, by law, they can't.
Well, I mean, they can put in whatever... Well,
No, by law, they can't do it. It's nut problem in America. By law, they can't do it.
Dispatch.
They can have foods that are actually pointed around nuts, like honey nut egg rolls and stuff like that, and you can ask them to take the nuts out. But if it's chow mein, you can't. They can't put nuts in food. Because there's such a big problem with like nuts and stuff like that.
yeah.
They can't. Yeah, that's why I know you didn't go to a public school, but they actually in certain areas of school, they actually had an area where kids would see, like, if they were allergic to peanuts, they had to sit there. The area, and I'm not even kidding, like, you had this huge lunchroom, and it's like tiny table, like 4 seats at it. If the kids were allergic to peanuts or something, they'd have to sit there.
That sounds like segregation.
It's not, it's to benefit them, like, the students, you know? 'Cause,
Yeah. I mean, I've heard... I've heard of
at
things
schools,
like
they,
you can't... Like, the whole... Because of one kid's allergies, they can't bring a certain type of food.
Yeah.
I've
No,
heard that.
what they used to do at certain schools, like, if you couldn't pay for, there's things called a hot lunch and a cold lunch, and a hot lunch was basically something that the school had, and a cold lunch was something you brought from home. But, you know, if you didn't have enough money to pay for a hot lunch, and you couldn't get your own lunch from home, they gave you this kind of like peanut butter and jelly pastry thing that you can have. So they, you know, kind of have that around. It was like crazy. I remember one time they thought I had the allergy because I had really bad, I had a bad sunburn, I think it was. And I'm always red, you know me. I'll especially in summer, I can always get really red. Like, even if I'm not embarrassed or have a sunburn, I can get red. I guess it's just because I'm Irish. But this was during the summer, and I had a sunburn as well, so they thought I had a peanut allergy. Like, okay, you need to come sit over here. I was like, oh no. And I was, you know, I was in like 2nd grade, so they're not gonna like listen to a 2nd grader. So like, if they're like, oh, you're allergic to peanuts, and I say, no, I'm not, they're like, okay, sweetheart, go eat your lunch. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I just remember, I was a really bad kid, I'm not gonna lie. I still am a bad kid. I remember, my friends would come up to me, and that was against the rules. You couldn't go, like, if you had your lunch, like, carried with you, you couldn't go to that table if there was a kid there. So they would come up to me with their lunch and everything like that, and they'd give me some of their food because they took away like almost all my stuff, and I was like, okay, that's cool. So they gave me all my food, and I just talked with them the whole time. Like, the principal actually came and he goes, okay, so what's going on here? And we were like, oh, nothing much. I remember, because they did the same thing at another school, but instead of the peanut butter and jelly stuff, they had burritos, like bean burritos.
Bean burritos.
And they had a really bad, like what they do is as soon as you enter, you go by this kind of like conveyor belt type deal, and you would like pick up your milk and your food that they had there, and then you know give them the money. So you know you do that, and I remember my friend's name. His name is Francisco because I always called him San Francisco. This was in fifth grade. This was in 5th grade. Well, me and him, we were probably the 2 worst people in that class without anybody knowing. And when I mean class, I don't mean the actual class. I mean like that grade.
Oh, in school.
So like, not in school in general, but like the 5th grade, we were like the worst kids. But the thing is that nobody knew. Like there were these kids who were like really outspoken, but me and him, we were like silent killers in the night. Because how they do it, there was this, you know, the line of kids going by and getting their food, and then about like 4 or 5 feet to the left of that is where you can start to sit down and eat your lunch. We sit at that table. So we'd sit down at that table, and we just, while the lunch ladies weren't, you know, looking, we would get up, and not together, we'd plan this out, I'm not even kidding, we'd plan this out. He'd get up, and he'd steal some food. And he'd sit down and act like nothing happened. And the ladies would go back to working, and then look away again, and I'd get up and do it.
Huh.
And it was totally against the rules to do that. And I remember another time, I got in a fight with a lunch lady. I'm not even kidding. Little like 10-year-old, 11-year-old Robert getting in a fight with like this 50-year-old woman. I'm not even kidding. I was
That just sounds funny.
I remember what it was. It was one of the best things they had there was the tortilla chips. It was awesome. They came in like this plastic bag, a see-through bag, and you could get in them, and they were so good. They were really crunchy with the perfect amount of salt. And for something that low class for an elementary school in the ghetto, it was awesome. That was like, you know, tortilla chip day. Wow, great. And I remember we were going through the line. Me and my friend, you know, Francisco, we were going through, and apparently I wasn't like. The tortilla chips were only allowed for a certain amount of people. Like there's certain people out there. Like I guess the people who couldn't afford their own lunch. So they gave us carrots instead. I'm like, okay, I like carrots. It's one of my favorite vegetables, but I really wanted these chips. So I went through, and the thing about these chips is there's 2 lunch ladies there. Because there's 2 lines of kids and there's 2 lunch ladies. And the kids get their money to one lunch and they go on. Well, the chips are right next to the lunch lady, right? And you need
Yo! I'm under the map!
Shut up, you're ruining my story. Anyways, so... It sounded mean when I said that, I'm sorry.
Oh my
god. Yeah, we went through the line, and like you'd go through the line and there'd be a wall there, and like had all the condiments and like all the, you know, napkins and the utensils and stuff that you could grab, and it was, you know, it was awesome. And we can like just take it.
Oh my gosh.
So, he went to go over there, and he was waiting for me. And I went up and I took one of those bags of chips, and the lunch lady, she forcefully grabbed my hand, and she goes, "No, you put that down." And just then and there, that's assault to a minor. You can go to jail for that. But I was a good kid, but a really bad kid at the same time. So I was like, okay, I put them down, and she goes back to doing her thing. And then when she's not looking, I try to steal the chip bag again, and she looks at me, and she kind of slaps the chip. I'm so scared. Because me and the principal, we were surprisingly really good friends, because he knew my mom really well. She was on the PTA, which is Parent Teacher Association. And it was like, she planned all like the school events and stuff like that. So they were really good friends. And like, she was like, oh, I'm going to get the principal next time you do that. I'm like, do it. You're not going to do a dang thing. I was a mean kid. I was cussing all over the place too. And now, you know, I've changed. But like over there, it was like, you're not going to do a single thing. So how about you get out of my way and let me go back to eat my food, okay? And she was like, how dare you? Yeah, I was a bad kid. And nobody knew except my friend Francisco, like 2 other friends, and this lunch lady. And then from then on, and I was happy that was my last year. and I think she actually quit after that. I think I made her quit.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I didn't get my chips, which sucked, but I'm walking away with my friend laughing, and he just looks at me and he goes, dude, that was awesome. And like, those handful of people knew not to mess with me ever again. But then you'd have all these like more popular clubs like, oh, you know, stupid kid. And I'm like, oh, well, obviously you didn't know what I did to a lunch lady. Boom. I couldn't say that because nobody would believe me.
Dude, I
was that kid.
Dude, I was in my fast car, and I jumped, and I was speed boosting, and I was getting out of my car, and when I was getting out of my car flipped, and it forced me under the map. I was out of the map. So I had to kill myself to reset, because I was just sitting in water. Yeah,
Oh, did I ever tell you the story? Because I've told you so many. Did I ever tell you the BB gun incident?
I know you and William did something.
Yeah, okay, so I'll refresh your memory, and I guess I'll tell the stream as well. In the same grade, remember I met this one kid, and I think his name was Steve. Okay? And if it wasn't, then that'll be his name. So, talking to Steven. Steven was a really bad kid. He was one of those kids who got held back like 2 times, so he's supposed to be in like 7th grade. He didn't even go to our school, but walked the same way home from school. He's one of those outspoken kids. And he's like, you know, the opposite of me, where I'm like a bad kid, but I hide it. He was a bad kid, he showed it. So, we're walking home, and he lives down the street. And, we're talking, and, you know, the BB gun show, you know, competition BB gun popped up. You know, at this time, I've already been shooting it like 2 times in my life, so I knew all the, you know, it's a gun. You know, you're still supposed to show it the same respect as an actual gun does, and like the actual rules and safety. And we had a rule in our house that if you were going to shoot BB guns, you had to do it in the backyard, not the front yard or side yard. So that's what we did. You know, it's pretty normal. But I guess we had the stupid idea of grabbing them and bringing them outside. Anyway, so we talked to this kid Steven about things. He's like, oh, I love BB guns. I have my own. I have airsoft. I want to bring, you know, we were like, oh, we're already actually meant for like hunting and stuff like that. Pellets. It was, oh, that's cool. Can we go over there and shoot them? So we went over there, and without telling my parents, we said, you know, we brought out our BB guns. And it was fun.
Oh my god.
And the thing about this is that it's not even my fault, and you'll find more about that later in the story. But we had a smoker, you know, like a smoker to like, you know, smoke like brisket and stuff and ribs. And you know, if you've ever seen a smoker, it had, you know, certain smokers, it has kind of like this smoke funnel tower thing.
Yeah.
And we could we had little GI Joes that we shoot at, and we could stand our GI Joes on top of those and shoot them off.
Alright.
So we had the bright idea of standing up our GI Joes there and shooting them with our BB guns out front in our yard.
Alright.
Well, I went inside. Afterwards because like, oh, this is getting boring. I just sat down watching TV. And William and William's my brother, for those who are just gonna watch the stream in the future and don't know. William and Steven, they're out there and they're shooting, and then all of a sudden, I'm totally getting this all from William and the police officers, and I'll tell you more about that in the future of the story. Apparently what happened is, this girl, she was probably in middle school or high school, and she was walking down the street, and apparently Steven thought of the bright idea of shooting at her with said BB gun. Which sucks. Getting shot by that gun hurts so much.
Yeah.
And it's like a stinging system. Luckily, it didn't actually hit her, but it hit around her like a bunch of times. Like he shot at her about 8-9 times. She scared off. So about 5 minutes after that, Steven walks home, and William's still there, and he's, you know, putting up all the guns and stuff like that. But a half hour later, get a knock on our door. It was Metro Police, the police officer, LVPD. And I freaking, it was hysterical because next to the entryway was our bathroom and the window was open. And there was a knock on the door, and I remember I was in 5th grade. It's just so embarrassing to say, but they're open, and my window was open. The bathroom window was open. I was on the crapper, and I was crapping, and their police are there, and they're knocking on the door. They didn't say anything. It was like, "I'm pooping, go away." I actually said that. It was like cringy, and I opened the door, and they're like, "Oh, hey, is your I was shaking." And I was like, oh, they're like, oh, it's your parents. What is your parents? I was like, yeah, I'll go see. And I went to go talk to my mom because my dad had just gotten off work. And that sucks when my dad just gets off work and has to deal with these 2 bratty kids and a bratty kid that he doesn't know. Well, now I'm going to get my mom. She goes to answer the door, and they're like, oh yeah, we might want to get both parents for this. So she goes gets my dad.
Oh no.
And then they go step outside and talk. And then my dad comes to the door and goes, "Get your butts out here right now." Didn't say it like that, but he specifically said, "Get out here right now." He was mad. And we go out, you know how, certain cop cars that have like a little spotlight on the side?
Yeah.
Well, me and my brother go out. And they shine that spotlight on us, and that girl was there with her family. And they're like, they have their own big phone and everything. It was really embarrassing because and they're like, oh, are these the 2 kids who shot at you? And she said yes. And I wasn't there. She has 2 kids at the time shooting at her, and 2 kids outside who weren't shooting. One of them wasn't shooting at her. So we crossed to the gate now, and the cops are talking to us. And this girl, she was really cool about it. She goes, yeah, you gotta be safe and stuff like that. I'm not gonna press charges against you or anything. But you guys just gotta be safe next time. And my dad was furious at this. We got inside after they all left, and he was like, you guys better go clean your room right now. I should have left them taking you away for about a day to see how life was like in jail. And I was like, okay. And I'm bawling at this point. Because my dad's not listening to me at all, saying that it wasn't my fault. Because I didn't do anything. Because I went inside like a half hour before they did it all. And I remember, my cousin was living with us at the time. And then police come to the door, and my mom's talking to him at the time. And I'm looking at my cousin. I said, "The police are here for you." She's like laughing at me, and like when I'm crying on the floor and stuff like that because my dad and my mom are mad at me, and I thought I was going to go to jail. My cousin comes up to me and she goes, "Ha! The police are here for you." I was like, really? And now that I think about it, I'm just like, wow, I chose bad friends. And my dad, I don't want to bring it up to my dad because I feel like he'd still get mad at me about it. But I feel like if I went up to him, I'd talk to him about like, oh Dad, you remember that whole incident with the BB guns? How did that have anything to do with me? Because I remember I was inside just watching TV on the couch, I was laying down, I was about to fall asleep, and then I was like, oh, I gotta go take a crap. And then police came. And it was two squad cars too. It was really bad.
That's really bad.
Yeah. And like I feel like if I talk to my dad about it nowadays, like, hey Dad, you remember the BB gun incident? I had nothing to do with it. He'd be like, oh yeah, sure, right, I also remember that kid Steven, he made so much trouble in our house, like our neighborhood. My dad was like,
how long
okay,
ago
I'm gonna
was
take
this?
one of you with me in the truck. It's 5th grade.
5th grade, so
About 5 years ago. 5 years ago this Monday.
you remember it that well.
Yeah, because it was the first time, like, I actually almost went to the police, like, I was in jail. I mean, I've gotten, like, fines and tickets later on, but that's it. I've broken the law before, I just never got caught. I probably shouldn't say that on stream, I'm gonna say what I did. Anyway, so yeah, my dad was like, one day, because I remember, he got mad because apparently he had thought that the Steven kid had egged our house because we went outside and there was like 3 rotten eggs all over our paint. And the thing that made my dad mad about it the worst is that a month before that he had just painted the house gray instead of bright white. So he, like, this kid throws, we had no idea who did it, and my dad just thought it was him because he always caused trouble in the neighborhood. So my dad was like, okay, that's it. I'm taking one of you with me. We're going over, like, me and my brother. I'm taking one of you guys with me, and we're going over to his house right now. We're gonna have to talk to his dad about this.
Oh no.
And luckily we didn't do that because I had no idea where he lived, and one had no idea where he lived. So my dad was just furious that whole day, and it was so cringy. And I remember we walked home again, and he goes, "Dude, did you see what I did?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, you egged people's houses, didn't you?" He goes, "Yeah, but I didn't egg your guys's." And I just looked away and walked off.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I remember. I forgot their names, but they were in 4th grade and they were younger than. Of course, they were younger than the 3 of us. That being me, one, and Steven. I remember this kid. He was really. He's kind of like Isaiah, where he doesn't look menacing, but once you get to know him, he can beat you. Like, if you know what I mean. So this kid Steven was messing with this kid and his brother. And, it's like, sibling instinct. He was the older brother, and the younger brother would walk. They lived pretty much right behind my house, so I could, like, hop the wall and go over there. So we... Anyways, this Steven kid was messing with this one kid's little brother. And, I guess this kid got fed up with it one day, and put Steven in a freaking chokehold. And apparently turned him red and made him cry. And I feel like this is true because every time he saw this kid, he would shut his mouth and look the other way and walk faster. Like he was terrified of him.
That bad. Oh.
Yeah, and this kid, he was, I was probably 10 or 11 at the time. This kid was probably 8 or 9.
And
his brother was probably 6. And Steven was probably 13. And I'm not even kidding. This little kid brings him down to his knees, puts his arm around his arms around his neck, and chokes him. This is what I heard from him and his little brother, and Steven only told me that he was scared of him pretty much. Yeah, I lived in a bad neighborhood.
That's kind of funny how an 8-year-old could...
Oh yeah, it was hilarious. We laughed all the time. Like, we'd see him and be like, how you got beat up by an 8-year-old? And he just walked away, and you could like see a single tear form in his eye.
That's just funny.
What is this? I was added into a group conversation. What is this?
What is this? Whose memes are these?
I don't know. Isaiah's in here, Quinn's in here, and I think Kylie's in here.
Am I in here?
They want me to join the call.
It's such a
I'm
weird...
trying to tell stories here, guys.
I know, this is story time with Robert.
I'm trying to think of... I've told you the one about the 2 drug busts that happened there.
Oh, have you told the stream about the fireplace at your older house?
Fireplace. Oh, you mean the one where I set a tree on fire?
You set a chair on fire?
Tree, like a palm tree. Is that one?
I mean, I was talking about the one, like you and your dad and William were all sitting out and...
Oh yeah, that's the one with the tree, okay. So, at my old house, it was a really nice house, we got it from a friend of the church. And I'm a pyro, I love setting things on fire. My lip has been burnt on fire, it's like, it hurts right now. Like, my sideburn has been taken off. I love fire. And even if it hurts me, I still love it. It's a love-hate relationship. Anyways, we had a nice, really nice house at the time. Really nice backyard. It's like the best backyard we've ever had. And it had this nice wood-burning fireplace outside. And my whole family loved fire. So, we went out there, set a bunch of stuff on fire. And it was a cold day, it was kind of raining. And we just got done chopping down like half of a tree down, like it had overgrown branches, so we cut the limbs down. Oh my gosh, they want me to join because and I quote, because it's lit and it will be more lit if you join. Anyways, yeah, we set a bunch of stuff. We had some of the stuff we got was fresh, so it made a lot of smoke and a lot of fire. And you know, right next to we live in Vegas. There's a bunch of palm trees everywhere, and it was a pool, so it was ambiance. Anyways, so right next to this fireplace, it needed to be trimmed really badly, and we didn't keep up on that. There was a palm tree. And you know, it's right next to it, and you know, we weren't expecting this fire to go so high, but we threw so much stuff on at the time, and it was so awesome to see. And I remember the tree, it got up so, like the flame got up so high, it set that whole palm tree on fire, like the top of it was on fire. And my dad immediately sprang into action, and he was like, "Go grab the hose, Robert." I was like, "Okay," I went to grab the hose. And I remember, one wasn't with us at the time, one was in the fire department. And I think it's funny, I'll explain why it's funny later. But, there was a kink in it, and my dad was like, I'll go get my dad was like, "You go get the kink and I'll hold on to the hose." I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." So I went to go get the kink out of the hose, and, it just started spraying everywhere, the hose in the tree, like, it's pond, because it's green, it was fresh, it was green. Green leaves make a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
It made so much smoke, and surprisingly the police department wasn't called on this. My dad just looks at me, and he's like half soaked wet because, like I said, the hose sprayed, and he smells like smoke and sweat. And he just looks at me, and he starts laughing. He's like, "Yeah, that happened, it was awesome." And what I think is funny how, there's another story that we had is that the same thing kind of happened, except nothing got set on fire except the stuff that was in like the fireplace. And the fire department actually got caught on this for the smell of smoke, but won't get caught on this for what looked like smoke. Because that makes sense. That's where tax dollars are going to in Vegas. We're going to hell. But yeah, it was crazy. Like, you know, for most people probably, "Oh, you set a tree on fire, what to do?" But it was in like such a nice neighborhood, and like you'd go out there I wonder if it's still like charred and stuff. Like you'd go out there, and that was the first thing you'd see, like, "Why is that tree so black compared to all the other ones?" Like, "Oh yeah, funny story, we set them on fire by accident." Yeah, that was awesome.
I wonder if anyone's been in that house, or lives in the house now. It's a nice house.
I think so. Alright, you know what? I'll be right back. I'll join back in a second. I'm gonna join their call real quick to see what they want. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh man. It's Robert talking a lot more than me. Alright. Ouch. That hurt.
Okay, I'm back.
Tell us the story.
Okay, so the story was, they wanted me to join, and they were like, "Oh, it's so lit," and I joined. And Isaiah was like, oh, can we play games earlier because of my time limit? I'm like, no, because I don't wake up early. And then I was getting off and I was like, Isaiah, I hate you, quit, I someone like you. Tyler, I want you to have my children, I love you all, good night.
Here's your shirt, sir.
Thank you,
Your
Mom.
shirt.
Thank you, Mother.
Hello, madame.
Good night. She left.
Let's see what other stories I have. What stories do you want?
Uh,
Because I think I've told you all my stories, but
You
like
told-
the streamings.
for the stream, I think. Which one would you?
I got a lot of them. I got some near-death experiences.
Ooh, those sound interesting.
Alright, let's do the stupidest one. There's a stupid one and there's a serious one. So the stupid one is I was at a friend's house, and I was sleeping the night, and he has a bunch of chihuahuas, and his chihuahuas didn't like me. Like, I mean, he had like 8 of them. And I remember I was taking a nap at his house, and he had his window open, and his screen was there, but it was kind of like popped out a little bit. And that comes in handy later in the story. So I wake up in the middle of the night to these dogs biting at me, and I'm standing up, and it's like really dark, and I'm half awake, and okay, not saying that part, and I'll go off that in a second. Anyways, this friend of mine, ironically, I think his name was Steven as well. Wrong guy though.
Different guy.
But yeah, he had a pool, and where this window at was you can basically jump out of the window and land in the pool, right? So there'd be like an inch from like the wall. Yeah. So anyways, back to like the Chihuahua part. The Chihuahuas basically were backing me up against the window, and I had no idea what was happening at the time. I didn't know if it was streaming or not. And I'm like, haters would say it's fake, but no, this actually happened. They basically pushed me to the ledge of the window, and I guess I lost my balance or whatever, and I fell through the window, and I almost hit my skull on the pavement of the pool, but I actually landed inside of the pool. So I could have lost my life because of chihuahuas.
And we wouldn't be here right now telling that stupid story.
Oh. Yeah. And then the serious. Alright, here's the more serious. I was over at my friend's house. We'll name him Steve. I want to name his actual name, so we'll name him Steve.
Okay.
So I was over at Steve's house,
Huh?
and
I'm probably planning
we're just
midnight.
hanging out there.
What time then?
Oh,
Okay.
Ben, 7:30. Sorry, I'm working with Ben
yeah.
tomorrow.
So yeah, I was at Steven's house, and we were just chilling. We were just like, it was a thing. We always had an inside joke. Whenever I'd go over there, he'd make me coffee. And it was awesome. So I was just chilling there, drinking my coffee on the porch, and it was in the same neighborhood as my like other Steven stories. But yeah, I was over at Steven's house, and he's pretty lit. He was a cool guy at the time, but then he learned to be pretty not cool at all. So we were hanging out, and we got bored, so we called our other friend, and for the sake of this commentary, we'll name him Steven as well. So my friend Steven also knew Steven, so it was me, Steven, and Steven. We were all having a good time, and then Steven's cousin came over. He was like, oh, for the sake of this commentary, his name will also be Steven. So it was me and the 3 Stevens. We were all having fun. And me and Steven, we decided, oh, let's play hide and go seek tag. So it was really easy. My friend Steven had a shed, so we jumped up on his shed and onto the wall that was behind his shed. And it was cool. We could like sit up there, and his cousin Steven wasn't very tall, so he couldn't reach us. So even if he could find us, he wouldn't be able to reach us, and the game would just go on forever without him being it. Without us, any of us being it. So me, Steven, and Steven, we just sat up there and talked the whole time. And Steven came running by, and Steven was probably like 8 at the time, and we and him were pretty good friends. I didn't know him a lot, but like, he was like, oh yeah, I'm just, like, you know, those kills mom, oh yeah, I'm excited to see Robert. So yeah, Steven found us, and we were like, oh no, Steven found us. And he's like, you gotta tag us to win. He's like, oh dang it, and he ended up having to leave. So then we just sat there talking a whole bunch. And I'm not very good with my balance at all. So I tried standing up on the wall and like started walking and everything like that. And then other Steven had to leave. So then it was just me and original Steven. So it's just me and Steven there. So we're just there and we're having a good old time. And you know, he's trying to get me to balance. And you know how I said it was on a wall? Well, behind this wall was another backyard. And in this backyard, there was a golden retriever and a pit bull. I think it was that. And they were pretty vicious. They always fought. They had like claw marks on each other, bite marks on each other. It was pretty vicious. And I remember, like I said, we were trying to keep my balance up. Underneath this wall, there was what's it called? It was a thorn bush there, and it sucked. I hated it. And I'll tell you why I hated it. Because I lost my balance and I fell into the freaking thorn bush. And it sucked. I had like a thorn sticking out my butt and it hurt so much. And I remember I was sitting there and I was dazed and confused because I was like sitting there for like 20 seconds. I was like, oh my gosh, did that just happen? And I remember everything was like, because it was like a movie, everything was like echoey and it was like crazy. And my friend, he just looked at me and he looked down at the dog and the dog was like, come here. And I was like, oh, I gotta get up and I gotta move. And I got off and I kind of, shrugged myself off. I was like, okay, I gotta get out of here. And there was only one way out of there that I could see. It was hopping over another wall. And I wasn't really good at hopping over walls because, like I said, I'm a pretty big guy. It's kind of hard to lift myself up. And so I lift myself over this wall and I was like adding in this part. There's a family there and this kid, he had a steak. And I think he was a little Indian kid. And he's sitting there and he looks at me with a steak in his hand and he has it like a sword and goes, doogie doogie. I was like adding that in the story, and it's true. And then I remember I was like, oh, hey, and I jumped over the wall. And I just laid there, I jumped over and I laid back into Steven's yard, and I fell on the dirt, and I almost fell asleep. I was like, dude, I was panting. I was like, dude, that was horrible. And he lays down next to me, he goes, dude, that was awesome. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. Oh man. Yeah, that's my near-death experience. Yeah, pretty nice. I have ghost stories too. But,
Oh, ghost stories.
Haven't I ever told you them? Okay. I think I've told you. All right, so my family, my aunt, my great aunt, my late aunt, I guess I should say, she's passed away recently. Her name was Nancy. Great aunt. She owned a costume shop here in town. It's called One Costume Shop.
Oh yeah, you
awesome.
told me
I
this
used
one.
to work there. Yeah, I used to work there every now and then. And my great uncle, his name is Newt. Okay, he passed away years before my aunt did. She passed away last December. So yeah, he passed away, and he passed away in that building, I believe.
Which
So,
isn't creepy.
Yeah, it's not good. And I remember it's a 3-story building. It's like the full like sales floor, and then the second floor is like storage, and then the top floor is where she actually like lived at. It was like her apartment area, and it was really cool. I always loved going there, and I remember I was working there one time. And there, you go upstairs to the second area, and there's just costumes everywhere, and then you have to go back into this deep, deep, dark area. And then we actually gave it a room. It's called the Power Rangers room because that's where we stored all the Power Rangers. And I remember having to go back there and getting stuff and placing stuff, and I had to make multiple trips. I remember going back there, and it was just so cold and so freezing, and it was so creepy being back there. And, oh my gosh, it was terrifying. I hated being back there. So yeah, that's kind of it. It felt like. And I remember, I think I heard like tapping on the wall, and like, for those of you who don't know, I watch a lot of like ghost stuff. so I know a lot about that, whether you believe it or not. I personally do believe in it, but we're not talking about that. And the thing going on is apparently it was being very cold, and that there was tapping out of nowhere, because everybody was downstairs, and there's only like 4 people that work there. And so there was like tapping, like, when I mean tapping, I'm talking about...
Algebra book I was looking at?
Uh-huh.
Buy? The library has it?
Uh-huh.
So we can get it from the library and we can take a look at it and you can work through it a little bit before we buy it and see how it works.
Okay.
I'm telling stories!
Okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
Bye.
Good night, Mom. Resume.
Anyways, so yeah, it was like a tap, 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 tap. It was great. It doesn't sound like anything normal. So like, I don't think it was like, it had to be kind of like man or spiritual type thing. Like, I don't think of like a water drop would go. You know, I think it just goes drip, 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 drip. And even then, it didn't sound like water. It sounded like someone was like knocking on the wall. And I just got out of there really fast. I didn't even finish my job. I had my mom do it. And my mom even admitted it. She was like, oh yeah, every time I go back here, it gets pretty cold and creepy. And I remember, I don't think I've ever told you this one, but I remember, this is a kind of sad one. I'm not gonna lie. I might get a little emotional.
Alright.
This is when my aunt was in the hospital.
Uh-huh.
Like about a week before she passed away. My mom took me over there really early on a Thursday. And Thursday at the time was the day I had to go into school. So I went in Thursday, because my mom at the time, she had to pay all the bills and stuff like that. So my mom did that. And it was just, you know, cool. I had to go in there really early morning.
Alright.
And I went in there and I was playing the dog Spotty. Well, no, I wasn't playing with the dog Spotty. This is why it's confusing. In that room, she had about 3 rooms in there. She had 2 guest rooms in there actually.
Uh-huh.
I remember my mom was like, "Oh, I'll give you the tour of the place," and she took me to the first room, and I think it was the room that my uncle had died in. I remember going in there, and I got goosebumps. I'm not kidding, I got goosebumps, and it was weird. Took me to the second room, and I was like, "Oh, that's a pretty cool room." And then she took me to her room, and then she opened up the door, and I guess her dog Spotty got trapped in there.
Uh-huh.
And you know, dog had food and water or anything, but getting thrown in the house. I was like, "Oh, that's weird. How could the door shut on the dog?" So that was weird. And then, you know, my mom goes, because usually my mom's doing stuff, she's listening to music. So she thinks she was doing that. And we had a TV on too in the background. It was like the news, like early morning news. So we went out to, I went to go play with the dog, and we were running around their little condo area. And I went into the kitchen part, and I heard a door slam, and my mom didn't hear it, and my mom still doesn't believe it to this day. The door that slammed was the one where my uncle died in.
So,
Now, that's not creepy at all.
wait,
So we were just
were you in the
yeah, I was just in the kitchen. I was in the kitchen, it was far away from the door, and I was just getting some water. Nobody was running around, everybody was still, and all of a sudden I heard a door slam. I went to go see what it was, and keep in mind, it wasn't a windy day in Vegas at the time, and there was no windows open, so even if it was windy, it wouldn't be able to shut. And it was like a heavy wooden door on carpet that you'd have to like pull and push, and not just lightly put your finger on it and open it or whatever. So I went to go see it, and the room that my uncle had died in, that was the door that slammed. All the other doors were open except that one.
that's a little creepy.
Is that not creepy at all? And then the whole point about Spotty being stuck inside of the room. How did that door get shut? Nobody goes up there. The only person that was allowed up there was my mom, because she was family. So how did Spotty get trapped up there with nobody in there? Except maybe Uncle Newt. Uncle Newt was his name. Newt was his name. And it was just terrifying. Because it's like an actual house, you know, like if you go to a first floor house, you could see the you know, there's like an area where there's just like the rooms and stuff like that, and the rest of it's like the kitchen, the family room, the dining room, all that. Well, I didn't go in that part of the rooms ever again after that, and that was the first time I've actually been there. I haven't been back to that building since because she passed away. It was kind of sad. And I remember.
Did she pass away in the hospital or the house?
She passed away in the hospital. She passed away in the hospital. But my uncle knew he passed away in the house. And I think another relative of mine did too. I think a couple of dogs did as well.
Alright. It's a little not creepy at all.
Yeah, right? And there's another story. It's weird how all this kind of have to do with my great aunt. Not as big as that one. I remember. Excuse me. I was over at a friend's house, and I was spending the night. Oh, hold up.
Wait a minute. Put a little love.
Anyways, so, I was at a friend's house, and I'm going off memory here. I can't exactly remember. I was just over there having a good time, and we all went to bed. It was me, my brother, and two of my friends. Their names were Steven and Steven.
Yeah, you're creative, man.
So, yeah. No, shut up. This is creative. So, me, my brother Steven, and Steven, we were all over there, and we were having a good time. And like, Steven's mom was like, "Okay, you gotta go to bed." So we all went to bed. We all had sleeping bags.
All right.
And I remember we all fell asleep. It was really hot in there, so I was like half in my sleeping bag, half out of my sleeping bag, and half that was in my sleeping bag was my lower body. I remember waking up in the middle of the night to something tugging on my sleeping bag and dangling my foot around. Tell me that's not creepy. And I was so scared to look up, because this was when I was first starting to get in like ghost stuff. I was so scared to look up that I just sat there, and froze, and it felt like forced myself back to sleep. And I woke up a half hour again, and it was still happening. And he didn't have dogs. He didn't own any dogs. He was allergic to dogs. And his little brothers were already sleeping upstairs. So it was really, really weird. And everybody else was like dead asleep. So I'm just laying there, and I was the only one awake at the time. I wasn't moving, and like it's been said, like 3 o'clock in the morning is when like the most spiritual stuff happens. So I was just shaking there, and I forced myself back to sleep, and I woke up early morning again, like early morning. And, like luckily one of the Stevens was already awake, and was like, okay, that's awesome. I don't have to be terrified. And we just sat there playing some video games. And I was like, so did your brothers wake up at all in the middle of the night? He goes, no. Why? I said, because something was tugging at my feet. Now here's where it gets creepy. You might be like, oh, well that could have been anything. Well, here's where it gets creepy. He lived right next to a desert. I mean, right next, I mean like, you could hop a wall and you were in the desert. That close.
Yeah.
And we live in Vegas, a town run on blood money, on blood and everything, mafia, mobs, all that stuff. Well, I didn't know this at the time, but where he lived was an actual old dumping spot for bodies and stuff like that. The mafia. So like bury the bodies out there. And I didn't know this at the time, but this is what I said about my aunt being connected to it. She was talking to me about this. Uncle knew he was in the mob. You know, and she was talking to me, she goes, oh yeah, when they buried the two bodies and stuff like that, they would cut off the feet, the hands, and take out the teeth and eyeballs. So they couldn't be recognized, and nobody could figure out who did. And why I put so much emphasis on the feet part, it's because what was the thing doing to me? Touching my feet.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all. That's a little bit creepy.
Like I think he was actually buried, like the bodies were buried. Because I mean, this isn't like there was not a lot of houses everywhere. So I mean, like there's probably bodies buried underneath his house. And when there's something tugging at my foot for almost an hour and a half straight, and then I realized to find out later that they used to cut off the feet of mob victims so they couldn't be identified. That is terrifying. Yeah, creepy.
It's a little terrifying.
I remember telling Haley about this at Ephanie's birthday party. We had the fire going, we just kept saying, which is so sweet. I remember I was telling Haley about this stuff because we decided to tell scary stories. And, you know, you guys kept making up ones. They're like, oh, this is fake, but, you know, it's still terrifying. I was like, no, mines are real. I remember telling Haley about it, and Haley, she like texted me the next day. She goes, "You gave me nightmares because of that story, Robert. I hate you."
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Savage.
Yeah, man. Well, I think that's what's gonna do it for Robert's story time tonight. I don't want to talk
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah. You told plenty of stories.
I think I told about 5, which is like barely scratching the surface.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out of the party though. I'm gonna go Skype with my friend now.
All right.
And then I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. I'll see you later.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Just, let me just get myself out of the party quickly. Bye.
Bye.
All units, find the rebel. Pursue aggressively.
Yeah. Actually, let's head back a bit and go over here. Let's get rid of this prison. Let's lose the visual. Let's lose the visual. Or not. So, you know.
Locate the rebel immediately. Do not let him escape.
Let's destroy these.
Be advised that chopper support is approaching.
Heat level 5. This is some pretty zesty stuff right here. Alright, that's cool. Anything else at this prison? Okay, no. Bye-bye.
This is dispatch. Hanks inbound. Elite deployment authorized. Squad inbound. Choppers are inbound. Repeat, choppers are inbound. Authorizing elite squad deployment at your location.
Alright. Just gonna... Actually, this one's closer, so we're gonna do that. Let's do this. Okay.
All units on alert. Re-establish visual contact.
Actually, let's destroy this. Actually, we're not gonna worry about him. We're not gonna worry about him. Yeah, this level 5 ain't ending for a while. There we go. That's destroyed. Alright. Actually, do the stuff that's closer. Just kind of make a big loop. What? For the fun of it. I know this is supposed to be intense, but you know.
Target is at large. Re-establish visual contact immediately. We are sending ground support to your location.
I'd be a heat level 6 right now if, if I had the choice. Alright. We've hit 2 minutes, I'm happy. I don't know how you reach a level 5 this fast.
Sending air support to your location.
They're sending all kinds of supports in here.
Dispatching chopper support to contact.
There you go. Let's throw them away, we might as well.
Be advised. Tanks dispatched to point of contact. We've lost visual contact. All units, fan out and search. Initializing search protocol. Find the target as soon as possible.
My goodness.
Attention. We are sending tanks to your location.
Tanks. Oh, this game's pretty zesty. Pretty intense, aren't?
All units, find the rebel. Pursue aggressively. An elite response team is en route to your position.
Come on, 4 minutes, 4 minutes.
Spiraling out of control. Sending in the big guns. Take care of it.
Ooh. Don't know where the... Oh my goodness.
Dispatch. Target is still advanced. Find him.
Alright.
We've lost visual contact. All units, fan out and search.
I'd like to see if they could find me. Oh, there you are.
Target is at large. Re-establish visual contact immediately.
This is a general's van, not yours.
Come after me, boys. The big guns, huh? The big guns.
Initializing search protocol. Find it.
The prison's over there.
Target as soon as possible.
You boys.
Advise that chopper support is approaching your location.
There you go.
Choppers are inbound. Repeat, choppers are inbound.
Where? How can I cause more chaos?
Authorizing tactical response team at your position.
They're just calling in every sort of team possible, aren't they? Let's grab this. No.
Sending air support to your location.
And there we go. Wow. That was crazy. Like that was so crazy. I think this is gonna be our last city to blow up. Is 5-star level heat, big city, destroying everything, prisons. You know, I think it's a strong way to end off the stream. So once we raise the flag, we will definitely do that. Okay, let's see. There we go. We conquered this province. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. There we go. 11 out of 13. Thank y'all for coming out to the stream. If you decide to watch this long stream, drop a like, and if you enjoyed the content, please subscribe. Thank you for the awesomeness you guys are, and bye bye.